Alright, y'all. So the purpose of this video is to show you how to take a long magazine that should be 25 rounds, but in some states they're pinned to be a 10 round mag, and turn it back into a 25 round magazine. This is the Tippmann Arms M422 magazine, 22 long rifle. Like I said, without the pin, this magazine will hold 25 rounds, but I bought it in Maryland, so it's got a block in it. It only lets you fit 10 rounds. So let's fix that. So first thing you want to do with your magazine like this, you want to open your dust cover, and there's going to be a second button at the bottom. You can remove the dust cover completely, set it to the side. Second thing, there's this little button on the bottom, you can kind of see there. You want to press it down and at the same time pull this plate out, but don't let go of that spring, it'll go flying. So it's kind of difficult to do if you've never done it before. I've only done a couple. Yep, and you got to hold pressure on that so you don't lose it. Set your plate to the side, then you can let the tension off your spring. This black piece will come off the end and your spring comes out. And then you got 6 Phillips head screws on the side there you want to remove, and I'll get back with you once I remove them. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, this is not intended for if you live in one of those states where you're only allowed a 10 round magazine. This is not intended for you to extend your legal magazines, make them illegal. I bought this magazine in Maryland, but I live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, we're allowed to have high capacity magazines, so it's completely legal for me to do this. But if you lived in a state like Maryland, it would not be. I think Tippmann did that on purpose. They kind of made the magazines legal, but at the same time, when you can get your hands on them, you can make them legal for your state. Because when I take this apart, I'll show you, there's another hole you can put the pin in. It looks like it might be about 15 rounds. And if I'm not mistaken, there are a few states where you're allowed a 15 round magazine, but no higher. So it looks like they made them kind of universal, just kind of set it up to your state's legalities. One thing I wish they did make is we're allowed to have whatever capacity we want in Pennsylvania. I wish they made like a drum mag for this, like a 60 or 100 round. I'd be even happy with a slightly more extended magazine, be like 40, 45 rounds. That'd be awesome. Alright, so once you get those screws out, you can see I'm still holding tension on this magazine. Because if you remember from the beginning, you push these buttons down to take your dust cover off, they have a spring under them. So you're going to very slowly try to pull this top cover off. And then your springs, your buttons have springs under them, is what I meant to say. They'll come out with it. Just make sure you don't lose those buttons. Alright. I did this kind of backwards. So you're going to want to go ahead and set your buttons out, I would recommend. And then you can see this pin right, in camera, right there. That's what's preventing you from moving it. And there's that second hole for it right there. I believe it's about 15 rounds if it focuses. So all you gotta do, take a pair of pliers. I'm using channel locks. Grab onto that pin, gently twist and pull, and you now have a 25 round magazine once you reassemble it. I'm not going to make you guys wait to see, this one put back together. I have one here that I did just a few minutes ago. As you can see, I can pull the follower all the way down. This was a 10 round, now it's a 25. So that is how you convert your Tippmann M4 magazines into either 10, 15, or 25 rounds. I did this for 25 rounds. As always, make sure you're staying legal with it. You should never take advice from anybody on YouTube, legal advice. But I would say just stick with your state's regulations. The last thing you want is to go to jail for something as dumb as a fucking half-inch pin that you pulled out of a magazine. So, stay safe, stay shooting.